I'm so excited to be here with you all. Can we go around and just tell me your first name and what grade you're in? Do you want to start? What's your name? Nice to meet you.
My name is Layla and I'm in second grade. My name is Alexandra and I'm in second grade. My name is Sharice and I'm in third grade.
Okay.
I'm Makara, I'm in third grade.
I'm Gerald and I'm in third grade.
I'm Mason and I'm in third grade.
It's really needed.
I'm Mr. Nunez, and I'm the proud principal at Ellison Parks.
Great.
Oh, I'm Dr. Mentos. I'm the family liaison here at Ellison Parks. Thank you for having me.
My name is Enrique. I'm the Boston City Councilor for District 5.
My name is Brandy Fluker-Oakley. I'm the state rep for this part of town. I'm actually a neighbor. I see y'all playing recess from my back deck sometimes.
Okay.
And I went to the Rosa Parks back when it was in Roxbury.
Joe Sikowski, farmer.
Okay.
Mary Skipper, I'm the superintendent. It's nice to see all of you students. Good to see you.
And I'm Michelle. I'm the mayor. I don't know what grade I would be in at this point, but I have a second grader and a fourth grader at home who also gets to enjoy some of the delicious food that comes from Mr. Joe's farms. And maybe our guests can introduce themselves too.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Simka. I work with an organization called Massachusetts Farm to School.
Hi, I'm Sharon, and I work at Project Bread. I'm Chris, and I'm the Dean of the School of Nutrition at Tufts.
I'm Talia, I work with the mayor. I'm Annalisa, I'm in charge of all the cafeterias in Boston Public Schools.
Hi everyone, Latoya McLaughlin, Director of Access at Ellison Parks.
Sorry.
Hi, Elisa Wasserman. I work with Food Justice for the City.
I'm Melissa Hunt. I also work with Food Justice for the City, and I'm very jealous of the lunches that
Well, I think everyone should start eating,
Yeah.
right? Before the food gets cold.
What's the different food on your plate? What do you got?
apple, pizza, and then whatever.
Oh, what is that? Does anyone know what that is? What is it?
Do you know what it is?
That's sweet potato.
Why don't you taste it? Who's got it?
Is it peach cobbler?
Oh, Annalise, can you give him a clue?
It's a vegetable,
Yeah.
and it starts with a B, and it has a shape like this, and we call it butternut squash.
And we have the expert on not only how to grow butternut squash, but how to grow these exact butternut squash that are in your delicious lunches, because I had the chance to visit Mr. Sikowski at his farm, and we saw how much they take care of all the different kinds of vegetables that they help send to Boston Public Schools. Do you want to tell us a little bit, Mr. Sikowski, about how you grow it? And
We raise a lot of butternut squash. We raise about 130 acres of butternut. That gives us about 2 million pounds every year. So we have more than we can eat, and we're happy to bring some to Boston whenever they want it. It's a nice crop to grow. It's the Indians grew it originally right around here, and we still raise it, and it's very popular and it tastes great. Some people confuse it with peach cobbler because it's that tasty. But it's a good vegetable for us, and we're happy to have such a nice crop this year.
And so one thing we do is Annalise is in charge of all of the foods for BPS. And so she's really been listening to what students have said about what they want for food to eat. And so we've been able to introduce a lot of things this year that we haven't in the past. But it's like, gotta be healthy. So you have fruit, right? What's the fruit on your plate? what's the fruit? Which one?
Apple.
The apple, right? And then you've got salad. And so our schools now have salad bars where you can put the salad on and you can pick what else to put on it. And you've got some milk, right? That's nice and healthy. And then you get choice, right, over what you want, what your entree is. Thank you so much. Thank you. And so Annalise thinks about the whole menu for the BPS when she puts it together. And Annalise, are there any particular things you want to kind of shout out? We have Harvest of the Month.
Yeah, this month is kale, so every single month we have one vegetable or fruit or another kind of food that we feature that's coming from Massachusetts. And so this month it's kale, and you all have been having kale in your smoothies in the morning. Did you even know?
Who had a smoothie this morning? Did we have a smoothie this morning?
Was it good?
Yeah, and so we've listened to you all for the things that you wanted. I think 2 weeks ago we had Student Choice Meal Day in here at Ellison Park. You all had nachos that you voted for. And then, like we said, so Farmer Joe's here. He's made this butternut squash. The apples on your tray are from New England. This pizza that you're eating is made here in New England. So we're really thinking about not just how to have you be healthy from the food you're eating, but how to help create jobs and really support our local economy and strengthen New England with the food that we're providing.
So since we have all the people here who are in charge of the breakfasts and lunches, what instructions do you guys have for us? What do you like about it, or what do you think could be better about the options that you have? What do you think? Is it usually pretty good? Or are there things that you think you wish you had or could taste better?
Don't be shy, guys. What do you like about lunch?
I think Mason has something to say. He's just wiping his mouth.
What do you like about lunch, Mason?
The milk.
Alright.
And maybe the brown rice that we had.
Ah, there you go.
It's really healthy too. What was in the brown rice? Did it have
It
any
had,
flavor?
It had rice and I think beans.
Oh, that's really healthy.
Those
Chicken.
and chicken,
Ooh,
yes.
chicken.
And the beans actually came from Farmer Joe's farm too. He grew those beans.
We have a big combine, and we go out and we combine beans when they're dry enough. And then we clean them and bring them to the schools.
How do you grow beans, Father Bill?
Well, we plow the field, and then we harrow it, put down some fertilizer, and we plant beans around May 20th. They can't really take a frost. And then we cultivate them a few times, and they do the rest. And then after a frost in the fall, the plant's dry enough that we can come in and harvest the beans after they're below 16% moisture. And then we have a cleaner, and actually the guys are cleaning beans today. And we actually wash them, so there's no surprises. And then we check the moisture again. We have a dryer and dry the beans if we have to, and then bag them up and send them out to different schools.
So, Mr. Sikowski, if it's November, what day is it now? November
8th.
8th now, and we're eating the beans and the beans yesterday and then the squash today, what day did you have to start? Did you have to start the process of growing all of them?
Well, like we would start planting the beans around May 20th. We'd plant the squash around May 15th. And we do the tillage before that. And even today, we're bringing in lime to adjust the pHs on the soil so that for next year's crops, everything's perfect. I kind of look at it as, I don't work today, I work tomorrow. I'm always trying to figure out what we need to be ready. And that's kind of what we do. And we have a lot of good people that work on our farm, and some of them have been with us for 3 generations. So it's a matter of respect for the land and the people that we work with. And I'd also like to say that Well, with Thanksgiving coming up, the farmers out our way are thankful and grateful for the support we get from the schools and colleges. You guys are wonderful. The people in food service are some of the nicest customers we work with. I'd rather see this country run by 100 people from food service than the Senate we have now. It's a nice people, and they really do work serving others every day.
That's great.
So we buy squash from Farmer Joe all year long for all of the schools in Boston. Do y'all want to guess how much butternut squash Boston Public Schools buys in a year? What do you think?
365.
365. It's actually more than that. How much squash do you think we end up buying? Sorry? Infinity. It's a little less than infinity.
Kind of close.
What do you think?
6,000.
6,000? It's getting closer. We buy the same amount of squash in a year that matches the weight of 2 elephants.
Whoa.
So 2 elephants worth of squash is how much squash we buy.
That's a lot of squash.
A lot of squash.
It's 4 ears of corn, too.
That's great. That's awesome. And can you talk a little bit about, like, because we're trying to, like, put different kinds of food out, so, which we are calling, we say are culturally affirming, meaning you recognize the food. So it might be food that you've eaten at your friend's house or you eat at your house. Can you talk a little bit about, like, our global menu?
Yeah, I think, Mason, your favorite meal is one of our new menu items, and I think one of my favorite, and I think maybe why you all guessed plantains, because we have a barbecue chicken with a gallo pinto with black beans and rice and plantains. We added a pastelon for you all, having requested that. Tikka masala is new this year. We have a chicken teriyaki that we added, and we have a hummus bowl with fritters, with falafel, so that our students have been giving ideas to the cafeteria managers. Your cafeteria managers share those with our chefs, and they come back and we work on the menu for you. And we're already thinking about next year's menu. And because nachos were really popular on Student Choice Day when you all voted, those will be on the menu next year with some local items in them. And so we're really trying to make an effort to hear what you want so we can put it on the menu.
How do you take care of all the schools in one day?
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a very good question.
Very good question.
We have 510 cooks who go to all of the schools every day to cook for you all. It takes a lot of people. And then it's not just us, but it's the farmers and the drivers who deliver the food. So many, many people take care of you all every day.
Yeah, your lunch monitors, right, that are helping lunch, so you guys can talk and hang out. So you should definitely thank them too when you see them, because they do such a good job.
I'm in awe, I have to say, when I was in school, in Boston Public Schools, we had a boxed lunch where you had no options. And someone like me who's a picky eater, if I didn't like the food, I just didn't eat that day. And this idea of providing kids with agency, they're able to select what they want, they're able to make choices that they're excited about. For me, it's an amazing opportunity. And so I'm really excited to hear this. And I need to hang out in the cafeteria a little bit more. The food sounds amazing.
Yeah, what you eat now feeds your body for the future to make you healthy. So when we were growing up, we didn't have that kind of healthy food. Like when I ate school lunches, and my mom was a cafeteria worker, and my uncle drove the truck that was delivering the foods, and like the foods, like Principal Nina says, were not healthy. They didn't come from farms, straight from farms, and we didn't have the selection that you guys have now. But that's because all the adults in BPS and the city and the mayor love you and want to make sure that you have healthy, good food that you'll eat every day. What's your favorite? Like when you think about breakfast and lunch at school, what's like some of your favorite things to eat? We heard about the rice, beans, chicken.
I like burgers.
Good call. All right, burgers.
the salad,
Salad?
Yeah,
the pizza, and the chicken.
that's right.
Is there salad every day now?
Every day, and these students, since they're in, well, some of you are third graders, right? The third graders get to make their own salad, and the younger kids let the staff know, and they'll put whatever they want on their tray, and they can have as much fruits and veggies as they want, every day.
It's awesome. Do you have any other favorite foods? Because Annalise will take it back and make sure that we make even more of that.
What do you like?
Lasagna.
Lasagna.
That's a good one.
So, can't the cafeteria be like with a bunch of foods and then we just pick what we want and put it in our tray? Because we have to tell them what we want. And then there's just a bunch of food and then we have to eat it.
Yeah, that's a really good suggestion, and so we make available every day 2 different options, usually one with an animal protein and one with a plant protein. And then you can make a salad with as much food on it as you want and choose from all 9 different options on the salad bar. And then there's sun butter and jelly every day. So already those 4 things are a lot for the kitchen staff to make. But we can check in and make sure that you're being offered all 4 options every day so you get to choose.
Why do we do sun butter?
We do sun butter instead of peanut butter, is that the question? Because there are many kids in Boston that have a peanut allergy, and so to make sure that our kitchens and serving lines are safe for all kids, we offer sun butter
That's
instead of
great.
peanut butter.
That's great. So you have to think a lot about the food you put out because kids do have allergies.
Yes. We have 48,000 kids with different food preferences, different food requirements, different food allergies, and we want to make sure that the food is safe and healthy and delicious for all of them. It's a pretty challenging job to figure out.
That's a lot.
Are you usually full by the time you finish eating lunch, or do you wish there was bigger portions or more food? This one's already finished. Sometimes. Can you say more, Mason?
Like sometimes when I don't have breakfast, and I have a tiny little breakfast, I want more of it. Sometimes when I have breakfast, I eat, and when I eat and I'm done, I'm gonna feel full. It's good.
Do you usually get breakfast at school?
Not all the time, but sometimes.
To a follow-up to that, what is the breakfast option like?
So every day we have a different featured menu item at breakfast, and then 4 days a week there's also a smoothie option, and then we have something called Pick 2, and so the kids can choose between cereal, yogurt, granola, cheese sticks, hard-boiled eggs, so there's lots of choice at breakfast. And then we offered at minimum of 2 local items at breakfast as well. So our bagels are stone ground wheat here in Massachusetts. We have greens in the smoothies, blueberries, and granola is all from the area.
Thank you.
Do you guys have enough time to eat and do recess? What do you think? No? How long do we have for food and recess to
We
eat?
have a half an hour for lunch and a half an hour for recess. The challenge in letting kids make choices is that sometimes we're a little indecisive and we stand there like, do I want this, do I want that? And that just takes up time. So time is always the issue.
Yeah, because usually when I ask students, they'll say, we want more recess time. Right? Yeah. Well, that can be something we think about, like how to make it a little bit easier for kids to get through the recess line, to get through the food line. That's good.
I think it's a challenge and a balance that we have to find because we want our students to have choice in the lunch line and we want them to have home-cooked meals and not be providing just hand food and fast food and no choice to get them through. And so we have to kind of figure out how do we do both.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of collaborative work.
How many lunches every day do we prepare in BPS?
26,000 lunches we serve every day.
That's a lot.
And you might think that pizza day is the day that we serve the most lunches, and it actually isn't. Thursdays are a home-cooked meal day, and that's actually, Thursdays are the day that our kids eat the most lunches.
Oh, wow. Is that different? Is that switch? Since we started doing the home?
Yeah, Thursdays is a day that we do like a fully scratched meal, so Mondays is a burger day, burger or Asian, but Tuesdays rotates, Fridays are always pizza, but Thursdays are a full scratch day, and that's our best day. I think it's really important, we want kids to eat the food, but we know we don't have to provide fast food for them to eat, we can provide a fully meal made on site, and that is the favorite.
That's great. Do you guys have any questions for Farmer Joe? I mean, he's a real farmer. He knows things the mayor and I don't know.
Do you have cows?
No, we raise chickens though. It's not the same, I know. But we raise chickens. We used to have cows when I was a kid. You know, I'll have to think about that one now that you brought it up. I miss it.
How long has the farm been in your family? I'm assuming based on the family farm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My grandparents started farming in our area in 1916. They came over from occupied Poland at the start of World War I and started farming, and my father married the girl from the farm next door, and there we still are.
What other animals do you have on your farm?
We have a cat named Leo Socks. Then we had a dog named Snowdrop, which was a great dog, but a bad name, because you'd call Snow and she'd come running with her tail wagging, and she'd be making a mess in the house, and you'd yell no, and she's just as happy. To her it was all the same.
How often do the deliveries happen between your farm and BPS?
Once a week.
Once a week?
Yep. As a matter of fact, we're working on the order for Boston Public Schools right today and tomorrow. And then it'll go out on Sunday morning to distribute it to we have 120 schools. So my question would be, I'd like a chance to work with the chefs and Annalise to maybe find out what you'd like us to grow and what the other farmers in our area could grow. We can do pretty much anything. We have the land, we have the resources, and wonderful people working with us. So, like at UMass, we go right through the seed catalog and they pick out what they want. There's even broccoli that looks like little dinosaurs now. All sorts of things. Yeah, I wouldn't kid you.
I'm trying to envision that.
So do the lunch ladies actually cook, or is it you guys that actually bring the food and then they just serve it?
Where does that cooking actually happen? Here or?
In 108 schools in Boston, we have kitchens, and in all of those schools, the cafeteria staff make the food every morning. So we have a big warehouse in the city where we have the ingredients, like a grocery store thing, and then we send those ingredients out to the schools every single day, and then they cook for you that day.
What time do the cooks have to come in to do all that?
We have varying shift times, but most of the cooks start at 6 o'clock in the morning. They're already at work, turning the ovens on and getting going.
Getting ready for you, so you can have good food. That's great.
We're the largest restaurant chain in all of New England.
And you said there's 540 workers?
There's 510 cooks.
Oh, 510.
We have 535 people in food service. Some of them are warehouse drivers.
Anyone else? Any other? What's your favorite meal? Okay.
I say mine.
What was it? I didn't hear it.
Burgers.
The burgers? I like burgers. What do you like, Layla? Burgers too? What do you like, Alexander? Pizza?
Do we have any other suggestions for the menu? I heard lasagna, and when it's on the menu next month, I want you to remember your voice was heard.
Wow.
That's great.
You've been listening on the menu.
And the principal's gonna eat that thing.
Amazing.
Give me a heads up.
Brussels sprouts.
You want,
All
okay.
right, that's a
Well,
good
we know where
call.
those are grown.
Those are good.
We raise a lot of Brussels sprouts. I actually have a machine that harvests them. They grow in big stalks like little Christmas trees, with little balls going up and down the stalks. We have a machine, we chop them and stuff them in a hole and it strips off all the little balls and separates them from the leaves. And then we pack them. And we sell a lot of Brussels sprouts. Sweet Greens restaurant chains, those are our Brussels sprouts. We have about 24 acres of Brussels sprouts, which is a crazy amount.
Have any of you all been to a farm before? You have? What did you see when you went to a farm?
At a zoo.
Oh, got it. Animals. What about you? What did you see when you went to a farm?
Cow.
Cows. What did you see?
I saw, I think, boars or pigs.
Uh-huh.
In the Dominican Republic, I saw a pig, and then we saw, I forgot the name of it. It looks like a cow, but it has like a big pointy back.
Oh. Yeah.
Delilah, go ahead.
I saw a chicken coop and there was lots of chickens, but one of them escaped.
Oh, escape chicken. Right.
My dream would be to have some field trips over to see Farmer Joe's farm, but maybe in the meantime we can make a video or something so all of you can see where the food and the vegetables and ingredients come from. We could maybe have a video of the Brussels sprout machine.
Annalise, are there any new foods that you're thinking about bringing in?
For next year's menu, we just started planning it. I'm trying to visualize. We have ramen on that menu. Should have prepared. I'm trying to visualize the spreadsheet. I have to look at it.
Well, this is your chance, besides lasagna, to get a suggestion in for that menu. And Brussels sprouts. Anything else?
Garlic bread.
Garlic bread.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Goes with the lasagna.
Already planning the meal out.
Okay, we're ready. You wanna come across the street?
I'm right next door, just let me know when it's ready.
Haitian dishes.
Some Haitian
Yeah,
dishes.
yeah.
We have a special menu in February, so for the 4 Heritage Months, we did a special menu, and I don't know if you remember in September, we had some empanadas for Hispanic Heritage Month. In February, we have some kalu, I think if I say it correctly, and some Nigerian stew that'll be on the menu. I think it's a little bit similar, but I think it's really good feedback for us to hear some Haitian dishes.
Nice.
Did you want to say something? Were you going to say something?
You can ask for anything. What is it?
Is it okay if you could add fish in the menu?
Oh,
Fish, fish.
yeah. Any particular kind of fish?
Salmon?
Salmon, that's healthy.
Taste it.
That's very healthy.
Yeah, salmon is really healthy. That's a good suggestion.
Mhm.
We have fish currently, one time on the menu, we have fish tacos once a month. And that fish comes from the Cape, so it's New England fish. I think the salmon comes from the other side of the country, from around Washington State or Alaska. And so we can think about it. I think our local fishermen would be concerned.
Do we have desserts?
We don't have desserts on the menu currently, normally, because we have to follow the National School Lunch Guidelines, and in Boston we have strong health guidelines around the amount of sugar we put in the meals or serve in the meals. We do for Fenway opening day have a popsicle on the menu. And for our harvest meal for Thanksgiving, actually next week, there's a cranberry apple slump, which is a traditional New England old-timey dessert. And so for our special meals, we have some desserts, but not on the normal.
Well, students always ask me why we don't have chocolate milk. And I have to tell them that, do you know how many tablespoons of sugar are in chocolate milk? Close, a little lower, but still a lot. Two whole tablespoons of sugar is in that chocolate milk, which is why we have the healthy plain milk.
What do you want on that menu?
Are they gonna get on live news?
This is the question.
Our experts here. That was
It's gonna be on the news, but not like.
You're gonna be on the news, though.
But you'll be on.
Makes sense.
This has 175 calories.
Ah, there you go. That's important to read the labels, right? Because that tells you what you're eating, what you're taking into your body.
When does the food expire?
When's the food expire? That's a good question.
Yeah, every different kind of food has a different expiration date from the day we make it and offer it. We have 7 days to serve it to you. That's how long generally prepared food lasts.
Is there a place where there's lots of refrigerators, where you keep things cold? How many refrigerators are there?
So every school has a refrigerator, and in our warehouse we have 3 really big refrigerators. One is the size of this library, but 2 stories high. Yeah. We have, I think, some of the biggest refrigerators in the whole city.
You guys have a big house, and then it's like a trap. It's like a kitchen, and then it has very high ceilings, so then the refrigerators can not hit the ceiling.
Yeah, the refrigerators go all the way up to the ceiling. It's like a room that you walk into is the refrigerator. And we have a big building that's like a grocery store for Boston Public Schools with the refrigerators all the way up to top and a freezer all the way up to the top to the ceiling.
Well, how do you get this stuff all the way to the top?
We have this really special tool called a forklift, and it's a truck that has, I don't even know the words, the racking goes all the way up and it goes up high, and it comes out and gets a pallet, which is, do you know a pallet?
Yeah.
It's
Is it
able
like a
to-
painting palette?
Oh, very good.
Different than
It's
that.
spelled
It's
differently, but
different,
very
yeah.
good.
It's like a tray that we put all the boxes of food on, and so this forklift can reach up and grab the tray of boxes and pull it down. Yeah. It takes a lot of special machinery to bring you your food.
So,
Did you say that you saw forklift before?
Yes, I saw it at Home Depot and on YouTube.
Yeah.
Was getting things down from a high place?
Yes, and I was pretty scared because it was kind of close.
Yeah. So, Annalise, when the mayor and I, when there's gonna be a big snowstorm, and the mayor and I are talking about, can we have school or not? What happens, like, how do you plan for that? When you have so many meals, you have to be ready for the next day.
When we think that there's going to be snow, we get together and we really work on plans, and we have a plan written down just for that purpose. And so we generally get everything ready, but then save the food for the very next day. And so we change the menu. So if we're gonna have a snowstorm on Monday, we would serve Monday's menu on Tuesday. If it goes to be a couple more days than one day, we lose some food. Yeah.
There's 2 weeks that there's still a snowstorm and the 7 weeks that they're gonna be expired, right?
Yes.
Right, I think if we had a snowstorm that lasted for 2 weeks, we probably would be activating and figuring out how to offer food in the city, and we would move that food from the schools to make it available to families. We probably would lose some, but we would make sure whatever we're serving is fresh for people, so it's safe.
But you're right,
Good
these
thinking.
things go, that's good.
Well, any other suggestions you want to give us about anything in your schools or in your communities or other things that you were thinking about?
I wanna have a Haitian soup.
A what?
Haitian soup.
Oh, Haitian
Ah,
soup.
yes. Soup joumou?
That's great.
Lisa, what were you gonna say?
Oh, what about lunchy?
Where's Lynchy?
It's like a feast of bowls, and it's like Lunchables, but more meal.
What do you think, Annalisa?
I've gotta look into
Yeah.
it, I'm glad to hear.
Is it,
Bowls
it's,
have sugar, and you can just take the prime and take out the sugar.
we'll look on what that is.
Yeah, I don't see that.
What do you think, Goya?
Add something at the playground.
And some,
Add something to the playground.
oh, what do
Which
you want on
kind
the
of things?
playground?
Delilah, we can't hear you. Can you speak up a little bit?
For recess.
Yeah,
Oh, for recess.
okay, like a thing that you climb on, or activities, or different kinds of balls, or what do you think?
A swing.
A
Oh,
swing.
swings.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
The mayor
Sure.
can work on
Please.
Like one day, like if you can make one playground to parkour.
Parkour.
Do you do
It's
parkour?
really popular.
You do parkour? Wow,
It's really popular.
I like a puppet area to the playground.
a puppet area? Wow.
That's cool. Like a stage.
Can we have this go on the other floor for 4th grade and 5th grade and other grades?
Wow.
The fortunate thing about Ellison Park is that we end at 3rd
Into
grade,
the
and our
third,
kids
yeah.
don't want to leave, and our families don't want to leave.
I don't blame you for wanting to leave. It's a great school. You have a great principal. You have to think about that. Mason?
Maybe we can add like a little a little playhouse for like 2nd graders, 5th graders, and 3rd graders, and for the little kids with materials that we usually see in little kitchen playhouse.
Like an outdoor classroom kind of thing.
Go ahead, Delilah.
Usually sometimes when I don't want to go on the slides anymore at the playground, I usually climb up on the bars and I'm hanging down from the bars.
You kind of swing upside down up there.
So, can we add this for like actual gym, like workout gym?
We're at workout,
Just
You're
get these
giving
guys
us lots of good ideas. One day, we want all you to be in charge of the city and the schools, and we can work on all these things too.
Your words are powerful.
Yeah, put them on the design team.
Even you just made a suggestion about lasagna, and they're already thinking about it. Grown-ups are already thinking about your idea, and they're going to try it out. That's important for you guys to remember that. You have power. You have power in your words. Okay? Keep that in mind. Any other ideas of things we can add to this menu? Your favorite foods? Yeah.
Maybe for the playground, we can probably put a little like soccer now it's built in to the ground, so we can play soccer
Yeah, soccer's kind of fun.
For a basketball, and we could have 2 hoops that won't break, and the hoops will be bolted down to the ground so it doesn't fall off, and you lay out the flooring as a normal basketball court would be like.
Higher gates, because every time, sometimes boys play soccer and then they take the box of higher gates.
So are these guys gonna get some recess?
Yes. Yes. You want recess? Are you sure?
Yeah.
They've been very, very good. Very good, very helpful. Lots of great suggestions for us. It's been awesome.
Thank you guys.
It's awesome.
Thank you for
Thank
all
you
your
guys.
You
ideas.
can
Thank
grab
you
your
guys.
trays. You can grab your trays and make sure your area is clean, and we'll head downstairs. Mason, I'll take yours. You'll take yours.
Thank you, Farmer Joe.
Yeah, you're gonna stay anyway, so you can sit down. No, you guys are going ahead.
Ovilma. How do I spell my last name? Ovilma. Third.
It's in the speech.
Is this
Yeah,
on?
he is.
Let's see. Test, test, test. That's good? Okay.
Dear Superintendent Skipper and Mayor Wu, welcome to the Dr. Catherine Ellison Rosa Parks Early Education School. My name is Mason Ovilma, and I'm a third grade student here. We are so happy to see you today, and we really appreciate that you took the time to come and visit our amazing school. We are proud of our school, our teachers, and everything we get to learn here. Thank you for supporting our school and being here with us.
Do you want to answer any questions before recess? Or I'm just going to recess?
Sure.
Does anyone have any questions for Mason before recess?
I have a question. My name is Rich. Why is it so important for you to have a good, healthy meal so that you can really concentrate and learn a lot so you have a good chance of being successful in the future? Why is a meal so important?
Because it helps me stay awake in class, and it helps me survive the day.
Well, what's the difference? If you said we can have candy corn and Coca-Cola and potato chips, or those really, really nice meals that we saw you kids eating today. What's the difference, you think, between those?
Well, the difference is that it doesn't help us stay awake that much. But it's delicious, though. The what?
The pizza, how was it?
Oh, it was great.
What's your favorite lunch for school?
Black rice and chicken.
Thank you so much, Mason.
Good job, Mason.
Thanks, Mason. Have a great day, okay? This is exactly why we are here. So thank you so much to Mason and all of our students and Principal Nunes and all the staff here at this incredible school community. We every day are trying to make sure that our young people have everything they need, and to get to try some of the lunch with our second and third graders today and to hear directly from them how it tastes, what more we should be doing, really helped us a lot. And thank you for being such good examples for our whole school community across the city. I am really excited to be here with so many partners who've been working really hard on making sure that in Boston Public Schools, our lunches and our meals aren't just checking the box on the various rules and regulations, but they really are what our students want to eat and are healthy and nutritious and exciting, representing the full diversity of the cultures and communities and backgrounds that all of our students bring to this amazing city. For me, it's been quite an exciting journey, and Mr. Sykowski, Farmer Joe, has been on it from the very beginning, really with us. When I was serving on the city council, Simca and a whole coalition came together, and we wrote a new law for the city of Boston, and it was the Good Food Purchasing Ordinance. We introduced it in the council, it passed in 2019, and it required us to start thinking differently about school meals. Where does every ingredient come from? How is it healthy or more like candy corn? How is it, how are the workers who produce that food treated, and the animals that are connected to it? And who is producing it? Is it from locally, or is it shipped in from far away? And so all these years later, we're really seeing the results of that. So thank you so much to the superintendent for all of her leadership on this front amidst everything else that is happening in BPS. This is a very important part of it. And to Annalisa, who has come in and helped transform how we do school lunches, where we're cooking them, and how each school has the connection to students. Really, it just shows every single day. My kids are always very happy to get school lunch, which makes me happy because it's, it's a set of groceries that you don't have to worry about for the family. It's things that a little bit of time you get back in the morning to just spend time with them. And so, some days we make the time for sandwiches, and some days I feel great just making sure they're getting whatever's off the menu in BPS. We also rely heavily on our partners. So we have represented here today the Mass Farm to School Alliance, the Friedman School of Nutrition, which has produced so many of the thinkers and leaders that are here today as well, and Project Bread. So thank you so much for helping us tackle hunger and focus on nutrition everywhere. And of course, Psychowski Farms, which is the source of many of the fresh vegetables and produce that we're able to provide to our young people. At this moment, it's about 15% of our school purchasing comes from local farms in Massachusetts and New England. Our goal is to at least double that, and it's a lot of math that happens under very tight budgets and very clear requirements about the nutrition and calorie count and all of that these amazing leaders make happen every day. We're also trying to supplement this in many other ways. So in addition to school meals being cooked fresh wherever possible and being healthy and local, we also have been working at farmers markets throughout the city and other grocery stores to offer programs that help make fresh food, especially produce, more affordable. So the Double Up Food Bucks program has helped us really expand that even beyond our students and school communities as well. And finally, there's always more that we're working on, and so I know, thanks to a grant from the state, there's going to be a full expansion and overhaul of the Central Food Kitchen on Columbia Road in Dorchester, and that will allow us to do even more, but I'm sure the team will say more about that. So thank you so much to our school leaders for having us, and to our young people for giving us the reason to, to work so hard on this. I'll pass it to the superintendent.
Thank you, Mayor, and really can't thank our mayor enough for just the vision, caring so deeply about making sure that our students every day are getting healthy food, and caring about our local economy, making sure that the food is locally sustainable and locally produced. This is an example of a village, all of these partners, right, in Boston. That's what makes us so special, coming together around our students, Mason and others. Annalise, I can't say enough, Annalise Tanner, who is our Director of Food and Nutrition Services, came in with a vision and she's carrying it out. As superintendent, it means a great deal to me that every day we're taking care of the whole child. And a big piece of the whole child is physical nutrition and well-being, and the fact that every day students for breakfast, for lunch, and in some cases in the afternoon and snack and dinner, that they're getting culturally affirming food that when they go in is welcoming, that they see and they're hungry for, that they have the ability to make their own choice and to give suggestions like we heard our second and third graders make about what they would like on the menu. The fact that we're developing a global menu to make sure students that are exposed to different kinds of food and they develop taste for it, and that it's coming from Farmer Joe and other farmers as locally grown, sustained, important to the economy and protecting those farms. This is really the village coming together, and our students in BPS are benefiting from that. They were so articulate about the food, what they loved about it, what their suggestions were about it, and I think that is the difference with BPS in the city of Boston, is that we are the ecosystem that really is not just reaching out to the city of Boston, but actually beyond, as we care for our young people and prepare the next generation. So couldn't be more thrilled to be here. It was definitely one of our BPS Eats, one of our most fun events. And with that, Annalise Tanner.
Well, in Boston Public Schools, we have a name for our cafeterias, and that's BPS Eats. And BPS Eats means local, fresh, and healthy food. We're preparing foods that our diverse students will enjoy. That's what we're working on every day. And we're really grateful for the support from the superintendent and from the mayor to be able to do that and to highlight the hard work of our 510 cooks. That's supplemented by the farmers and producers that we source from in New England. We're the largest restaurant chain in New England, and we have, as they mentioned, 15% of our $21 million that we spend on food every year is spent in New England, and we're working on increasing that. We want to teach our students through the menus, not just about the world and about one another and other cultures, but also that they have power and voice in the food choices that they make. And so by making really mindful choices about the food that we're serving, we're impacting the environmental impact and fair labor and animal welfare, as well as health in the region. And we're really excited to be able to do that through the BPS Eats cafeterias.
This is not my normal day. Well, I'd like to say I think what this Boston Schools, Mayor Wu, Annalise, everybody, the superintendent, are doing is absolutely great. They're doing wonderful things, and the farmers really are thankful as we get close to Thanksgiving for the support we get from the schools and the colleges in our state. It's a big, big help. It gives us crops that are in demand. It gives us a chance to keep the money local, to provide jobs, keep open space open. And we also are ecologically friendly because instead of the product coming from Mexico or Canada or who knows where, it's coming right from here. And I think that makes a difference. It's fresher, it's better, and it's doing a lot of good things. Nobody told the people at the school that they had to try so hard, but we appreciate that they are, and they're doing good things for the kids, the city, and for the farmers. Thank you. Joe Sikowski. C is in cat, Z is in zebra, A is in aardvark, J is in Joe, Kowski. Farmer. Joe Sikowski, farm.
Hi, I'm Simca Horwitz with Massachusetts Farm to School, and I just want to say I'm really honored to be here today, having worked on farm to school issues, getting more local food into school meals across the state for a number of years. Boston has really become a leader in this movement, and just seeing the transformation. I'm also a BPS parent, so my daughter comes home raving about the food, and it's just such a joy to see that kids are getting incredibly high quality food, featuring the freshest local ingredients, and to know that the dollars spent on that food are staying here in our local economy. It's really, as Joe said, a win for our kids, a win for farmers, and a win for communities. So just want to thank the city, from the mayor and superintendent and all of the food service staff, for the leadership on this, and for the incredible farmers like Joe who are making it happen. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Sharon Johnson from Project Bread, and we're so proud to partner with you guys. Our goal is to end hunger in the state of Massachusetts, and you guys are the leaders. We work in the schools, we work with summer sponsors like the Boston Public Schools and the Greater Boston Y, and you continually innovate and don't take no for an answer. And we really appreciate that, and we enjoy our partnership with you, and excited to see this amazing new project you guys are about to launch. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Christina Economos, the Dean of the Friedman School of Nutrition at Tufts University, and we do research and educate future leaders to do this very work that you're seeing today. And we have several graduates, as you mentioned, Mayor Wu, who are part of this initiative, which is so exciting. And I couldn't be more proud to be part of the city and see this model, which is really a national model for healthy people, healthy planet. And the kids today told you what they wanted to eat. It was healthy food, and it was more physical activity. And that's just going to benefit the city and society overall. So thank you so much for your leadership.
So let me first start by thanking folks. It's been an honor to host you guys here today. I've been thinking a lot about lunch and nutrition. And I think the value of the nutrition piece is very transparent. We saw it, we felt it, we tasted it. But there's an academic component that I always come back to, and this is the idea of agency. Soretta Hammond talks a lot about being an independent learner. And to be an independent learner, you have to have independent decision making. And if we can just shift that in the cafeteria, we're one step closer to where we need to be. And so for me, this has been really powerful to watch kids get up in line and look at the menu and say, I want that and I want this. And even though it takes longer to get to that lunch, the power of making those choices is massive. And so I want to encourage us to continue to do this work. And I also want to thank us for allowing us to do this work. So with that, I'll hand it over to... Any questions for me? Or any questions for me? Dwayne Nunez, school principal. N-U-N-E-Z.
Yeah, I got a question. What's the difference between a menu that is similar to that and a menu that is not nutritious and sugar-laden? What's the difference as far as what the prognosis is for a successful day of learning for a kid?
Yeah, you get the instant high energy, which we see kids who bring their own lunches. Sometimes it's not nutritious, and as soon as they eat that lunch, they're wired and all over the place, and then you have that crash. And it's in that crash that we really start to see the outcomes academically, where you have kids a little more sluggish and not really engaged in the learning, or they're hungry again sooner. And so I think those are the huge benefits of having a nutritious lunch, is that it lasts. I mean, Mason named it, I'm not as tired. Right, and he's really talking about at the end of the day, we're a really long school day, and our kids need to be nourished during that time so they can make it through the day.
What about like the breakfast? Because we talk about the lunches, but like sometimes the kids get in the breakfast and what they have is like a pre-packed cereal with milk. So is there any like project to change it to a little more fresh and local?
The pre-packed is an option. They also have biscuits, egg and cheese sandwiches, or sausage. I've seen just about everything at breakfast, boiled egg. So there are options in the morning as well. It's not just the cereal and milk. We've improved that, if you want to talk a little bit more about it.
And we have really strong ingredient standards here in Boston Public Schools, and so we don't allow more than 6 grams of added sugar in any of our cereals or in our yogurt. And in the federal school meal program, we're required to offer 2 grains at breakfast, and we can supplement that by subbing 1 grain for protein. And so we have grain and protein available to our students every single day, in addition to the cereal, which is an important choice for kids to be able to make because it meets a lot of dietary issues. If we have a student who's looking for a gluten-free option and the daily entree is a sandwich, we want to make sure that there's something available for them. But we have a daily entree, a smoothie, and then the pick 3 option that they put together.
I see that. So one more question. Does it change through the schools, or is the whole district like that?
We are currently cooking at 101 locations. We're cooking on site at 101 locations. We are hiring more cooks so that we can cook at all 108 locations that do have kitchens. And then we're really grateful for the Massachusetts Department of Agriculture, who just awarded us a grant to build out our central kitchen so that we can start to produce all of our meals in-house for Boston Public Schools for the 14 schools that don't currently have kitchens.
We're also beginning, we're planting seeds here for this generation, for all of us in various generations. If we knew now what we knew about food and the importance of a healthy foundation, what we feed our bodies, we might not be facing the generations of disease that we currently have. And so I see this as such an investment. I know the mayor does, that this is an investment in the next generation to make that generation that much more knowledgeable and healthy. And so we are also looking at ways with Annalise to integrate into the curriculum information about the food we serve, so that students, you heard a student talk about reading the label. Right? That's not something that a typical 2nd or 3rd grader would talk about. But them understanding as consumers what they're putting into their body, choosing to, and us giving them that healthy menu, that's all part of building the next generation of, knowledgeable, advocacy-based, agency-based young people that are going to be the next generation of our district and our city.
And Just to pick up on that point, it was really fun to spend time at the beginning asking if the students knew what that orange vegetable was on their dishes. And we had guesses of peach cobbler or plantains or sweet potatoes. And today they learned about butternut squash. And the fact that our young people are getting to experience new food experiences through their school lunch is really special. I remember growing up and being in part of an immigrant family and having foods at home that were different from the chicken nuggets, pizza, and standard things that were at school. And when some of my classmates would see what I was eating, I would get bullied or people would make funny faces, and it didn't feel good. Food is such a part of our own identity and our own connection to culture and community. So to have all of that so integrated and open in our classrooms and in our cafeterias, I think also really makes a difference in how our young people are understanding the world around them and connecting with everyone who's part of that world. For me, that butternut squash was especially important because it was about a month ago, I was out at Zykowski Farms and I got to see the soil that squash was grown in, to see the people and the hands that were harvesting and planting it, and then to see it boxed up and now here prepared and tasting great. It's amazing to be able to have that all in one community and all in one ecosystem. Any other questions on this? Okay, great. Thank you so much. There might be some off topics, or are you good?
One question, I don't know if I'm here or outside.
Okay, outside, great, yeah.
Are you able to say something in Spanish about this?
Sure. And does anyone else here speak Spanish too, if you wanted to add, or no? Okay, I'll take some. Just about the lunch in general. Okay. Yeah. Hoy estamos aquí en una de nuestras escuelas públicas de Boston para conectar con nuestros estudiantes y la comunidad escolar sobre la comida en las escuelas públicas. Estamos aquí con los líderes en varias organizaciones sobre nutrición, de conexión con muchas culturas y también con el líder que pueden producir vegetales. Entonces, nuestros estudiantes merecen todos los recursos para la comida que será sana, que es deliciosa y representada las varias culturas de nuestra comunidad. Entonces es un proyecto de muchos años, después una ordenanza en el Consejo Municipal de Boston sobre las regulaciones de esa comida, y también aquí con nuestro equipo en producir y proveer la comida que nuestras comunidades merecen. Great, thank you.